This video is for Lesson 5-3 about dishonored checks and electronic banking. We will complete record keeping for a dishonored check, we will journalize an electronic funds transfer, and we will also journalize a debit card transaction. A check that a bank refuses to pay is called a dishonored check. A check dishonored by the bank because of insufficient funds in the account of the maker of the check is called a non-sufficient funds check. A non-sufficient funds check is also known as an NSF check. Banks may also dishonor a check for other reasons. The check could appear to be altered. The signature of the person who signed the check does not match the one of the signature card at the bank. The amounts written in figures and words do not agree. The check is post-dated. The person who wrote the check has stopped payment on the check. A post-dated check would be a check that's written for a future date. You cannot cash a check until that actual date has happened. Issuing a check on an account with insufficient funds is illegal. Altering or forging a check is also illegal. A NSF check may affect the credit rating of the person or business that issued the check. Sometimes money for the non-sufficient funds check can be collected directly from the person or business that wrote the check. However, the value of a dishonored check cannot be recovered and becomes an expense of the business. Most banks will charge a fee for handling an NSF check that has been previously accepted for deposit. This fee is an expense of the business receiving such a check. To record a dishonored check on a check stub, we would write dishonored check under the heading Other. We would write the total of the dishonored check in the amount column. This is the amount of the dishonored check plus the service fee. And then we would calculate and record the new subtotal. How this would happen in our business would be somebody would write us a check to pay on account, but they actually did not have the funds in their account to cover the check. So for this example, August 29th, we received notice from the bank of a dishonored check from Valley Landscaping, $185 plus a $40 fee for a total of $225, memorandum number 25. So we will put the date and we will put in our document number, same as always. The account title for this is Accounts Receivable, Valley Landscaping. Now when they pay us on account, that is a credit to reduce the amount that they owe us. They now owe us more money. We're not only going to charge them the original $185 they owed us, we're also going to charge them that fee that we just got charged from the bank for doing this. So a bank will charge you a fee, and then a business can also charge you a fee for writing a bad check. It can be very expensive. So we'll put the amount for accounts receivable as a general debit, and then we will also give cash a credit. A computerized cash payment system that transfers funds without the use of checks, currency, or other paper is known as an electronic funds transfer. Many people use EFT to pay vendors. To use EFT, a business makes arrangements with its bank to process these transactions. Arrangements are also made with vendors to accept EFT payments on account. Then a transfer of funds from the business's account to the vendor's account can be completed via the internet or a telephone call. To control cash payments through EFT, the person responsible for requesting transfers should be given a password. The bank should not accept EFT requests from any person unable to provide the established password. This is an example of paying cash on account using EFT. Although we did not write a check, the money is coming directly from our checking account. Because of this, our source document will be a memorandum rather than a check. That is using the accounting concept objective evidence. So it's still recorded the same way as it would be if we wrote a check. However, we just use a memorandum instead. A bank card that automatically deducts the amount of a purchase from the checking account of the cardholder is called a debit card. There is one major difference between a debit card and a credit card. When a purchase is made with a debit card, the amount of the purchase is automatically deducted from the checking account of the cardholder. A debit card eliminates the need to write a check for the purchase. However, the effect is the same. The checking account balance is reduced by the amount of the purchase, A debit card also eliminates the need to carry a checkbook. So our journalized transaction, if we purchase supplies with a debit card, will be recorded the same way as if we wrote a check. However, our document number will once again be a memorandum. When you use a debit card, it is important to remember to record all purchases to avoid errors in the checking account.